So hi, my name is Steffen. I'm talking about multi-device local multiplayer games and how to do them with online technology. I worked at IBM as a software developer for 10 years. Then I wanted to come into the creative industry, and I switched to a game development company, worked there for 2 years on an HTML5 game, and then decided that I want to work on my own ideas and started up Untitled.Chapter.com, about which I will talk now. When the first iPad came out, I thought, how cool would it be to have this as a digital game board? And not just that, but what if it would be connected with other devices and the players could interact with their smartphones with this digital game board? So the other idea was, I want to play with my friends. Play wherever you want, play whatever you want, and play with whatever you have. So when Steve Jobs announced the first iPod, he said, look here, I have 1,000 songs in my pocket. And so the idea is to have 1,000 board games on your tablet or available on your tablet in this setup. You know, some people have this huge game collections, like you see in the picture down below. How cool would it be to have this always available on you? So when you play with your friends, everybody has different devices. So one has an iPad, the other has an iPhone, the other has an Android phone, the other has a Windows phone, or a BlackBerry, or whatever. So developing for all these devices is quite complex. You always have to go to the development pipeline, adapt to the specific platforms, and so on. And so I said, okay, every of these devices has a browser. And all the browsers today can do HTML5. And with HTML5, I will come to this a little bit later, you can do quite good graphic stuff, and you can do networking with it now. So in this picture here, you see that even this game, this is one of the prototypes for Around the Tablet. It is Skat, a famous German card game. And down below, you see that it's even running on the PS Vita. One idea I had, how to really quickly connect these people. When they come together, how can they immediately can jump into the game. And the idea was to have on the tablet one code, the QR code, and everybody sitting around just scans this QR code and is in the game. No Bluetooth connection, no setting up complex things like user IDs or something. Just scan the code and jump in. As this is web technology, it's just an URL in this QR code with a code, and you can enter this code also on the web page when you have no QR scanner. But still, this whole setup concept is quite complex. So you have to know how to come to the site, come to the games, and start the games and stuff. And if you put it into the App Store or so, you always have to do your marketing again and again to say, hey, this is a game which works like this multi-device local multiplayer game. And so I said, okay, it would be cool to have just one portal, one website where you come to and have all the games available. Like here, you can just start Skat or other games which can come sooner, can come soon. So though the idea was not to have an app store at all. So not appify it. Just have it as a web page which you can call. Connecting these devices physically is done just via internet. So all devices are connected with the game server via network connections like Wi-Fi connections or 3D mobile networks. And with HTML5, WebSockets were introduced. So your website now can connect to the server, and the server can send you push notifications, so can send push messages. So even if your device is not doing some interaction, like a click or so, it still can receive input from the game server, and the client can react on this. Like when one player is playing a card, this card can be displayed on the tablet. An advantage of using Node.js as a server backend is that it's all JavaScript, so you can write your whole code in JavaScript and have the cross usage of the code. You can use it in the client, in the browser, and you can use it on the server. Node.js is just a JavaScript execution engine on the server. So it's the same engine which is running in Chrome. Yeah, like I said, HTML5, the biggest advantage there is that it can now do really good graphics. With the introduction of the canvas element, you can now draw on a bitmap area, images, graphics, text, whatever, and animate it, and it behaves quite like Flash. You even can do 3D with WebGL, but this is not so supported in the most browsers. So on the PC or on desktop versions of the browsers, you can use it now a little bit, but not on the mobile ones. And some other cool things were introduced, like CSS3 for animations, audio, video, text, so you can play sounds and videos. You even can use the accelerometer of the device, so read out the device orientation and the device acceleration. You have the touch input and the touch gestures. You can do it in full screen, so you can have it on your iPad or iPhone as a full screen app, so it looks like a full screen app. And you can even cache it so that you don't have to download the images or the code ever again. In the early days of HTML5, a lot of things where you have to program by yourself. So a lot of HTML, JavaScript, CSS coding. Nowadays, there are a lot more libraries available. One of the famous of the libraries is Create.js, which is actually when you use Adobe Flash and export it to HTML5, it uses Create.js as an execution engine on the client. For editors, like I said, Adobe Flash or Adobe Edge are really good editors, and there are other full engines for this, like Construct 2 and Impact.js. And for the JavaScript development, I use WebStorm, which is a really good JavaScript IDE, which shows you syntax highlighting and structuring your code and so. Yeah, that was it. Thanks, and questions. Yeah, right. You go into the website, you start the game, and then you get a page where it shows the QR code and the code, right? And So the QR code has the session ID encoded, right? So if you scan this QR code, you come in as a client directly. So for example, in the SCART game, you have the tablet, which is a board. You scan the QR code, and you get your cards on your smartphones then. Yes, that would be an idea, which would be possible. That you have like putting the server into an app or a program and put this on the tablet, and then you don't have the need to always go to the public server. This is especially good when you don't have a public Wi-Fi connection or so, like in a train or so. Yeah.
Thank you, Steffen.